This is Epic Groupcast. I'm Anthony.
Steven.
Jordan.
Alan.
Lawrence.
Today we're going to do a bit of a TV cast and talk about our favorite TV shows that ended way too soon. Does everybody have a good list?
I didn't say way too soon. Some of these I just want one more season of.
Oh, okay.
The wrap-up.
Like the wrap-up season.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get it.
That'd be fine.
Sorry, go ahead.
So anyway, if you listen to our show regularly, both of you, you know how this is going to go. Well, myself and Lawrence, we're going to say Stargate Atlantis needed more seasons. And then Jordan, he's going to chime in and say Stargate Universe needed more seasons. And that's how that's going to go.
Do we just, are we done with those now?
Yeah, we're just done with those.
I'm not done with those.
Yeah,
That's it. That's all you get. That's it. So both of those shows needed more seasons.
Okay, here's a question. If we could bring back Atlantis now, what would you change, add, remove? What would you do to it?
What I would change is the way that Atlantis... I would just completely scrap the ending, because the last couple or three episodes of Atlantis, they were like coming to Earth, right?
Yeah.
And they ended up in the ocean or something.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of that. Get them back out in the Pegasus
Well,
Galaxy. And
that was how they intended to do it. Was the Atlantis Gate was never meant to be moved from the Pegasus Galaxy, so once they try to bring it online, it starts to self-destruct, and they have to get back to Pegasus.
and that's what the straight-to-DVD movie was going to be?
Either that or the season,
Oh, okay.
depending on what they let them do, but they ended up letting them do nothing.
See, I heard
But what I think is,
DVD
if they would
they're
have...
going to be on the moon.
If they would have had...
Yeah.
They were...
But that's where it would have started. They would have moved the base to the moon and decided that it was going to be the new Stargate Command. So that way, if people come through the gate that they didn't want, they would be on the moon instead of Cheyenne Mountain.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
makes sense.
But once they brought the gate online, it was going to blow up Atlantis, so they had to get out of there.
Okay.
Which I think if they would have had another season, they probably wouldn't have even brought it to Earth anyway. That's kind of how I feel.
I think I would have been... Well, no. I would much rather have the Wraiths still in the Pegasus Galaxy. I'd be okay with like another Stargate series where it's just like it's far in the future and we've in a way mastered the Stargate.
Oh,
So
so
we're-
Stargate Infinity,
Is that what it was going to be?
There was a cartoon,
and
Stargate
it was
Infinity.
awful.
Oh, really?
See the way I see Stargate is once they let everything out and aliens start coming to Earth and working with us, then it becomes Star Trek.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool to look at what they're kind of doing in SG-1 and Universe as well, like going to different planets and settling them, you know?
Yeah.
I think that'd be interesting. But spread humanity
To the farthest reaches
of the galaxy.
of the galaxy.
That's what the ancients did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that would
So
be
we
kinda
pick
cool.
up their
like
job.
another Stargate where like we become like the next ancients. That'd be kind of cool. I think I would even watch like a prequel Stargate that's just about the ancients and then building the technology and stuff
Yeah, I
like
would
that.
watch that.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But,
And Apophis. They could bring Apophis back if they did that. How cool would that be?
yeah, like the beginning of the Gwawold. Yeah, I'd be okay. I don't know why you poop on Apophis so much.
Because
He was
they
around
killed him
forever.
17 times.
They killed him several times, yeah. But he was a Gwawold. He could just escape into another body.
But it was the same
It
body.
was the same body.
Oh. Well.
He just became Kano.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You got that
remember
face
that.
thing.
I think I would
Oh,
try to wipe out Ford completely from Atlantis.
I didn't hate Ford that bad.
I did. I didn't really care for him. He was the token black guy that really wasn't there for any reason other than for them to have a black guy on the show. And then
probably
they turned
right.
him into a drug head that
Right.
was addicted to Wraith
Steroids.
juice. Yeah.
Okay, so other TV shows.
We're not going to talk about Universe?
Oh, we'll talk about it, but we'll talk about it on your list. Let's do my list.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, I'm
you
so
said
important.
whoa.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Sir Anthony, let's do your list first.
Because I avoided the Stargate talk on my
That's fine.
list. I didn't know it was going to be brought up.
Oh, yeah. This,
So
half of
in
this
depth.
podcast is going to be about Stargate.
And that's fine. Once we get to yours and Lawrence's list, it'll be
Okay.
great.
Okay.
But Lie to Me, it was on Fox, and it lasted 3 seasons, and I think that Lie to Me should have lasted a lot longer, because it had Tim Roth in it, and I thought he was awesome. Did you
It's a
see
great
the show?
show. I loved it. It was kind of...
Like, he could tell if you were lying just by watching you.
It was kind of based on Malcolm Gladwell. He wrote a book. What was it? Was it Outliers or was it?
He wrote a couple of books.
Right, but I think the one
It
that
wasn't based on Outliers, was it?
that I'm pretty sure the show was based on a Malcolm Gladwell book, but I don't think it was Outliers. I think it was his second book, but I can't remember what it's called. It's Blink is what it's called, and it's about like snap decisions and stuff. There was a couple chapters in that book about this scientist, which is what the show is based on, who like spent years of his life just studying like the muscles of the face and like the different looks that people do, and he got so good that he could just watch you. And he would know immediately whether you were lying about something just because of the way the muscles in your face were acting.
Yeah, because every human being on the planet shows emotion the same way, basically, in their face.
And it was, I mean, in real life, like you would have to tape it and watch it back in slow motion or whatever. But in the show, it was just he could just
Instant.
just knew like you're lying. Yes, you know, I mean,
So, like, is his ultimate nemesis a robot?
Yeah.
yes.
Like,
He has trouble with a psychopath in one episode.
okay. I could kinda
Sociopath,
see that.
right?
His weakness is talking to people over the phone.
Right. I'm only gonna call you from now on. No, actually, like it's like voice too. You
Yeah,
can
you
do it
could-
by
the
the
changing
tone of
the
your
pitch.
voice.
He would shake your hand to tell if you were afraid because the blood rushes to your hands and legs whenever you're afraid because you're ready to run. It's like an instinct.
Yeah.
So he would shake your hand and judge the
Butterfly.
temperature of your hand.
It was an awesome show, really.
It's like, don't
So-
let go yet. I'm getting ready.
I originally
Right.
didn't get into it because one of my friends told me that it was loosely based on psychology. And he's like, oh, it's so super accurate. But then, like, I watched one episode and I was like, this has nothing to do with psychology, so I stopped. But then, like, two of my friends started watching it when it came out on Netflix, and they loved it.
It's a good
Yeah,
show.
I watched the whole series on Netflix, and then I watched it at the end of season 3, I think, and I'm like, man, I want to see season 4 now. And then they're like, no.
Did
And
it end as if this is the end of the show?
Well,
or-
they just kind of started showing them at random, like different weird nights and weird times. It seemed like I never knew when it was going to be on. I think that's Fox's big problem with a lot of these shows.
They move stuff so
They
much,
do.
and they put it at
big gaps,
time slots.
you know.
Right. And then don't promote when it's coming back. That is the
Right.
worst.
Mhm.
Like, if you're not a Fox viewer every day, you don't know when your show's coming back because they'll show the commercial 1 or 2 times, you know, but...
See, I'm curious. Like, a lot of these shows that we're going to talk about today, like, if they came on now, would they still have gotten canceled with things of, like, DVR?
Oh, see, I don't know.
That's what I'm interested in.
Time slots definitely kill shows.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, they do. Yeah, they really do.
The next show I have, I don't remember a lot about it.
It was that good, huh?
It was that good.
That
It's held
good.
with
I
that
can
long.
tell this is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
It does deserve to come back.
Yes, because well, it just should have been longer. Not necessarily that these shows need to come back, but they should have lasted longer.
Right.
There's a show called Vanished. It was also on Fox. Had Rebecca Gayheart on there as a TV reporter who was sleeping with her cameraman. And she was
Okay.
she was one of the main characters. But you got to see a lot of her body, I guess. So I guess
So you just want more
So
of
this is
that.
this is why I wanted. This is why it should have lasted longer.
yeah.
We could just Google Rebecca Gayheart.
No,
You won't even care if the show
My
comes
phone has
back.
internet. I'll do that for you right now.
No, but I mean that was one thing that
Is that the
could
premise
have
of
sold
the
the
show?
show. Yeah. No, it was basically this senator whose wife gets kidnapped, and they're holding her. It's like a secret cult is holding her to get him to vote certain ways in Washington, and that's basically the whole idea for the show. It lasted, I think, 12 episodes, and then they showed a 13th online. And I think they let him find his wife. Like, they get the wife in the end, but the idea was for it to keep going, they were going to try to track down the cult or whatever who was behind it all. But I think it was the guy who did CSI who did this show. So
Are you sure this show is good? Because I'm looking on it on IMDb, and usually for every show or movie, they have like a paragraph of explaining what it is,
Well,
and this
what's
is
the- what's the
solely
line?
a senator's wife goes missing.
I told you they didn't air a lot of these shows.
You're on a need-to-know basis there.
13 episodes, okay.
My next show did even worse, and it is also on Fox, so I remembered very little of this. It was called Drive, And
Oh, yeah.
It starred Nathan Fillion
Fillion.
and
Fillion.
Fillion, and it had Emma Stone was one of the characters on the show. But basically, it was
How did it fail?
it was a serious rat race. Like basically, these people were made to race cross country, and they all came from different walks of life or whatever. There was a soldier and his girlfriend, and the soldier had to go AWOL, and then Emma Stone was the daughter, and her dad were traveling cross country, and Nathan Fillion, he was paired with some blonde. I forget how that happened, but basically he had a truck because I think he was a landscaper, and so he's in this race, and I think they all had to go to checkpoints at the end of every day, and it would give them a clue as to where they were going next. But I think it could have been the last episode I had seen. He gets kidnapped, and he gets held in this room, and they're interrogating him about some robbery. And he's acting like he knows nothing about it. Well, come to find out, it's the people running the race who are interrogating him. And I guess he used to be a wheelman. And once he confesses, they give him his old car back. And it's like an awesome muscle car, you know?
Oh,
and then
that's
that's pretty much where the show ended. But,
A drama about various people competing in an illegal cross-country road race.
right.
So it's like badass rat race.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, but it lasted 4 shows
Where's
on
Mr.
air.
Bean? I don't see Mr. Bean on
Yeah, there was no Mr. Bean. There was 4 episodes on TV, and then there were 2 episodes online. But I guess you can see them all on Amazon.
Uh,
But
Included in Prime.
the reason the reason why they're saying it was killed was because Fox started showing it on Monday nights, and it had competition from Deal or No Deal and Dancing with the Stars. And I hate reality TV show, and I'm so sad that this show went away because of these two. Deal or No
you
Deal.
gotta hand it to Deal or No Deal. You have to.
That doesn't count. That's a game show.
I
I
know,
don't
but
count
that's not a
game
reality
shows
show.
as reality shows.
True. But, that show was the simplest premise. Like,
Exactly.
guess.
And people just loved
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Basically, you're using people's greed
Isn't
against
Wayne
them.
Brady doing? No, he's doing Let's Make a Deal.
Let's make a deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to be what was the guy in Deal or No Deal who was like the businessman?
Oh, the
the
banker,
banker.
or
The
whatever.
banker. I wanna be him.
generic of the
Yeah.
banker.
All you have to do is just sit in a dark room and pretend
Move
like
around a
you're
little
talking
bit
on the
whenever the
phone.
camera's on you.
Yeah, that's all you have to do, and you get paid for that.
Try to look like you're awake.
Yeah. When it's commercial break, you're just watching Netflix on your phone.
It's actually just a cardboard cut. It's like Home Alone. It's
Yes.
cardboard cut out on some string.
It's Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a train set.
What does the banker say? Just wave.
Hi, banker.
He's coming back
There
around.
he is, coming back around. Oh.
Except for there's a phone taped
Boy,
to his
he-
hand. Whenever he comes around, you can see the...
Whenever he's angry,
He
he's
sure does
frustrated,
race
they're
a
so
lot.
close to winning, they just speed up the train.
Yeah.
Look at him, he's
He's
pacing so
pacing.
fast.
Yeah.
What else you got, Anthony?
I got Justice, which was another show on Fox. Basically, I'm disappointed with Fox. Fox cancels everything.
Fox
That's,
does cancel everything.
That's what my list is about, is my hatred of Fox.
Okay,
That should
what's
be-
Justice?
That should be the listeners' little mini game. How many of these shows that we're naming were on Fox?
Yeah, find out what network they were on
Yeah.
and see who canceled the most shows, the most good shows.
I almost guarantee you it's
It was
Fox.
Fox,
Oh, yeah.
probably. So Justice was...
They've at least, sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead.
They've at least stirred up the most crap about canceling shows.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Justice was a show about a legal firm, and it had, was it Victor Garber? Is that the guy's
Mhm.
name? He played Jack Bristow on Alias. Anyway, he was this hotshot lawyer, and he had a team working with him, and what they did is they only took on the most high-profile cases, so that way it'd get them in the news and get more recognition for their giant firm.
Also,
And
they're prissy. I'm only going to take the big ones.
Yes.
But it
If
had
it's not a big fish, I have nothing to do with it.
right. Well, no, they took smaller. Like it wasn't necessarily for the money; it was for the media attention.
Oh,
Right.
It's not even
Yeah.
pro bono, it's just...
Yeah. So they had Kerr Smith was one of the actors on the show, and he was the all-American boy, believed in all of his clients and everything, and so they would often have him start off the case because the jury could relate to him better than what they could.
Who's Kurt Smith? What else is he in?
He was
I
in
don't
Dawson's
know.
Creek, and he was in a vampire movie, maybe called.
Oh, that guy.
That
He's
could
in
have been
Final
anyone at this
Destination.
point.
Who was he in Final Destination?
In
Yeah,
the
yeah,
original,
yeah, he was the jerk.
He was the
Okay.
jerk. Yeah.
that gets
With the
killed
car, right?
by
Yeah.
the sign when it swings back or
Okay.
whatever.
Now I've seen The Jerk, and I don't think he's.
I love the jerk.
Surely that's not him.
He was a little young.
And this table, that's all I need.
But anyway, Victor's character's name was Ron Trott, and so they would have Kurt Smith's character lead before Ron. I think the second episode had Amanda Seyfried in it, and she was a college student, so she didn't have any money, but they took her case because she was a young, pretty girl, and the media was all over it. But the great thing about the show was you would see the whole case, and they'd come back either guilty or innocent, you know. And then at the end of the show, the last few minutes, they would show you the actual crime and whether or not they were guilty or innocent. And I thought that was
cool.
I thought that was a really cool idea.
How many of them did they prove innocent when they were actually guilty?
That's what I was just going to ask.
See, I don't
Did
know.
they have a couple like that?
Every episode I seen, the lawyers were right on. Except Amanda Seyfried's case, she was wrong. She said that she stabbed him. The guy was behind her, and she stabbed him in the chest, and she said she swung her arm back and stabbed him. And when they did a demonstration in court, one of the lady lawyers did it and like broke her hand, so they knew that she was lying. But she just kept on going as though she hadn't hurt herself to help strengthen the case or whatever. But what happened was she had stabbed him facing him, but the guy also had money, and she stole all the money. And so she didn't mention that. I mean, you saw that like not everybody's completely innocent.
That's what mean
in that
girls
way.
do.
But-
Yeah.
exactly. They just take your money. Like he was trying to rape her, like he was a sleazebag. you
Oh,
know?
okay. Well, as long as
Okay.
she's not just
All
stabbing
right.
some guy and taking his money. Okay.
Right. They were in a
She's about to
hotel
get
room.
raped.
Yeah. She was about to get raped.
The mugging gone wrong.
That makes it okay.
He took
That's
her,
really twisting the knife right there. Like, I know
Yeah.
you're trying to rape me, so I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
and then I'm
I'm
going
also
to take your
gonna
money.
take your money.
Because I'm a college student. I got loans.
Well, and what's a dead body going to use with money? right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, his family doesn't need that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Girls are cheap.
I hope he was just loaded.
She took a lot.
He was loaded.
He
I
was
was
a
thinking
rapist.
needing to commit.
That's what I'm.
you know,
I
I
don't-
mean, she's pretty hot.
Yeah.
From
What does that
here
have to
down.
do?
Well, maybe he couldn't pay her enough. I don't know.
Are you? Oh, was she a hooker?
No, she wasn't. I think she
Oh.
was a college student.
You don't pay them for what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Working her way through college. I get what you're saying.
Which is what he
Some-
thought. It was completely
some
innocent
girls
on his
strip,
part.
Others kill their rape attackers and steal their money.
Steal
you know?
their money.
It happens.
It's a much
Shouldn't
smaller
dress like
population.
Or they should dress like that.
Okay, I've got one final show on my list, and this is from NBC. So I won't attack Fox, but it is by far the best show on my list. It's called The Black Donnellys.
Oh yeah, I
So
remember
good.
that. I remember
Oh,
that.
I
So
love
good.
that show. And they only showed 6 episodes on
Yeah.
TV, and then 7 online. But it follows these 4 brothers, and they're Black Irish or whatever, and they're
African American Irish.
no, they weren't black. They were Black Irish. I don't mean to be insensitive, but
If they've listened to any of our podcasts,
I was gonna say, yeah.
well, I try to cut out the racist remarks so we can keep both our viewers. But anyway, there was Tommy and Jimmy and Sean and Kevin.
The brains, the looks, the wild card, the muscle.
Right.
I mean, it's...
Because, let's see, Jimmy was the oldest, and he walked with a limp because he'd gotten his leg run over by a car when he was a child.
The muscle.
And he's the source of all of their problems. And
Yeah.
he's the muscle.
He's
he
the
fixed
lower life
fights.
one, yeah. He's the problem
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, he was awful.
So he's Johnny Drama.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So, and then Tommy is the next brother by age, and he's an artist. He wants to go to college. He wants to do right,
The brains.
but he's got to keep his idiot brothers in line. And with all the trouble that Jimmy causes being the oldest, Tommy's got a lot to fix.
Half of his problems were Olivia Wilde's fault, though.
Were they?
Yeah.
Olivia Wilde was on the show.
I love
didn't know that-
Olivia Wilde.
Well, he was in love with her.
That's why he's a problem.
Is she
No,
wrong for you,
because
Lawrence?
she
Is
was
a
so
problem for
good.
you?
She is. Like, I devote so much of my day to Olivia Wilde that it's becoming a problem. I got wrote up at work the other day. We looked at your internet record. You literally spent 6 hours Googling.
From this time to this time, you were just
You
looking
didn't-
at 2 pictures.
You didn't even look at the images. You just Googled her name over and over again.
You watched
I'm like, I just like typing it.
She played a character named Jenny, and she was a good character. Whenever she finds out that someone's been murdered in the Donnelly's bar's basement, she just cleans up all the blood. 'Cause
That's
she
right,
wants
yeah.
she wants to keep things.
She's a team player. I
yeah,
forgot.
she wants to keep things good for Tommy. She's so in love with Tommy, but she's married. And,
Doesn't her-
and doesn't want to be with him because she's married, but her husband's gone.
I'd say, doesn't he get killed or something?
Yeah, her husband was in with loan sharks for his student loans, paying them back, and so they kill him. But no one has the heart to tell the girl that her
Yeah.
husband's dead.
So he's just gone.
So she's just in love with him, thinking he's run off. But
This is really
what you don't
depressing.
know won't hurt you.
Really depressing.
right. There are some sad parts, but there's some funny parts too because they've
I'd
got
say.
this friend called Joey Ice Cream, and he's the one telling the whole story. He starts out in jail, and he's talking to the cops about what's been going on and how he got his nickname, and which he was stealing ice cream as a child is how he got the name Joey Ice Cream.
Rocky Road.
But he tells him it's because he's cool as ice.
Good thing you didn't steal a banana split, you know?
Cream.
I like Joey Bananas.
Joey Bananas.
There's always money in the banana stand.
But it was a good show.
It was.
I would recommend it to anybody because, even though it's been off the air, it's been picked up and it's showing in European countries, like,
Yeah.
I guess now. It's the number 2 streamed show on NBC behind Heroes.
It's a really good crime drama.
People love it. It was pretty violent for NBC, dealing with the mob and all that. You had the Irish and the Italians were going at it all the time. But I liked it. I think it had a terrible time slot was the problem.
When was it on? Do you remember?
It's like
Monday,
nights.
Tuesday,
I think it was
Thursday,
Monday nights
Wednesday.
for a little bit.
I don't remember. It might have been on Mondays. But, they would show it. They either showed it right before the news or right after.
Yeah.
I don't
It was
remember,
late.
but It was like,
evening
super late,
yeah.
probably because of all the violence. But
Fair enough.
it was a good show.
It was.
But-
Can honestly say I haven't seen like 2 or 3 of those that you mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
I heard about the Black Donnellys, but I never saw it. And like,
buy it.
Justice.
It's
Just
good.
look it up.
Just buy it.
Just buy it.
There's only one.
You want more
Not even
when
a
you get
full
done.
season.
Yeah.
You'll want more.
Yeah. They showed 6 on
I have already so much
on
my
TV
bucket
and
list
7
of TV
online.
shows. Okay.
But so the 7th one ends kind of bad, and you're like, or the 13th ends kind of bad, and you're like, I want more, but you don't get more. So
That's fine.
who's got a list?
Who's
Who's
next?
I got a
something?
list. I'm going next. And top of my list, of course, is Stargate Atlantis.
Stargate Atlantis.
But I've kind of said everything that I need to say about Atlantis.
Would you
I
watch
just
a
love it.
Ronin spinoff show?
I would watch a Ronin prequel show, I think. Like,
Okay.
he was kind of awesome before
Yeah, he was.
before he joined the Atlantis team. But,
I
I'd watch
like
a
the whole
Ronin.
team though. Like I want
Yeah.
to see them together.
Yeah.
They work well
Me too.
together.
I want to see Ronin versus Teal'c, like a movie of just them fighting.
didn't
the
they
whole
fight
time.
in one episode?
They fight in
Yeah.
one episode.
And they said they
but
fought for like
briefly.
hours.
Yeah,
It was like nonstop.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
But
I
Tilk
love
had
both
long
of those
hair,
guys.
and that bugged me.
No, he
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah, in that episode he had like
Oh yeah, he
it
did.
was slicked back and it was long. It was just weird because no
Yeah.
other time did he have that long hair except.
Right. It was weird.
I want to point out the fact that that episode just proves Ronin is more badass than Teal'c, because Teal'c is pretty much an alien, and Ronin is human,
Right.
essentially. I mean,
Right. So without the Goa'uld in his
serum stuff
Yeah.
that he takes, which makes him weaker. Not quite full power, I thought
Right.
they said.
Right. But stronger than a normal human.
Yeah.
Then, yeah.
He can lift, like, a bug instead of like a 4-door
Right.
sedan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not impressive. An insect, really?
A
but he
VW
followed it up
bug.
with, yeah. I was
VW.
like, oh, okay, I see. Yes, that is, yes.
He picks up a lightning bug and then he can pick up.
Check it out, guy.
No, what the Jaffa? They were genetically modified humans or something,
Mhm.
Right.
To be incubators for gold.
Right. They're young.
And they got the X in their
Yeah.
bellies.
The X kangaroo pouch.
How does that not get infected?
I don't know, to make-
Because they're
that's the
genetically designed.
Yeah, that's the
Oh, okay.
modification. Next on my list is a show that none of you guys have probably seen. It's Quantum Leap.
Oh
Have
my
you guys ever
god.
seen that.
I watched
Yes.
Quantum Leap.
I loved Quantum Leap.
But how long did it go on?
It went on 4 seasons.
Okay.
It's amazing.
I'm surprised that Sliders isn't on your list.
Sliders is not on my list because the last season of Sliders is possibly the worst thing I've ever watched. Next to Superstar with Molly
Tell us how you
Shannon.
really feel.
Quantum Leap, for anybody who doesn't know, is about a guy who travels back in time. He's limited by his own lifetime. He can only go back from the day he was born to present day.
What year was he born, do you know?
1960 something.
Yeah, I was just saying.
Wasn't there a catch? Like,
That was
one
the
episode he was
One
able...
episode, he went back to, like, jumped into his grandpa or something like that. I don't remember. It's been years since I've watched the series. And it was because they were so close in DNA or something like that he was able to go back that far. And he had a guy,
Dean Stockwell.
Dean Stockwell, Al, who would come around with him and
He was a hologram,
he
right?
was,
That's right. He's just a
oh,
hologram.
yeah, Sam Beckett was the main character. He was played by
Scott Bakula.
Scott Bakula. And Dean Stockwell would show up, and he would, tell him
Yeah.
what time he is, in what year he was, and they would kind of try to figure out why he was there, like what terrible thing was getting ready to happen that Sam needed to prevent. And then once he prevented whatever it was, then he would leap to the next body.
Right before he kisses the lady, he's
Yeah.
like, in mid-kiss, he's leaping.
One time, right before he gave birth, because he was in a woman's body.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was a great show, and I could have watched
Yeah,
at
that
least
show's
one or
terrific.
two more seasons
Yeah.
of it.
That's cool.
That's cool.
My next two I'm going to kind of talk about together. It's Freaks and Geeks and Undeclared.
Yes.
Just the Judd Apatow TV series.
Yeah.
It's-
Both very good shows.
yeah.
Completely different shows, but I would have watched at least 2 or 3 more seasons of Freaks and Geeks just because of Freaks and Geeks. I love Martin Starr, right?
Yeah.
So much. Just, he was my favorite. Haverchuck was my favorite character on Freaks and Geeks.
I would say that if anyone likes, like, Knocked Up or
Oh, yeah.
The 40-Year-Old Virgin or anything like that,
Yeah.
go back and watch Freaks and Geeks because not only is it a great show, but, like, you see young James Franco, Seth Rogen,
Rogen.
Martin Starr,
And Jason Segel's in it.
Jason Segel. I can't
Is
remember the girl from
Rashida
ER.
Jones in it?
Yeah, she's in it, isn't she?
Yeah,
I
I think
don't
she
know.
was.
I think she was at least in a couple episodes. And who's the girl, the blonde? I know her name.
Linda.
Busy Phillips.
Yeah, I was saying, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I can't find her right now. I don't know.
Oh, Linda. what is her
Linda
name? Cardellini.
Cardellini, yeah.
Yeah, she was
She was on ER.
Velma from
Velma,
Scooby Doo,
Velma, yeah.
and she was in Grandma's Boy.
That's all she's been in. It's
Oh, yeah.
She's in ER.
Scooby-Doo, ER.
She was in
ER kind of a big deal.
and the little boy from
Yeah.
Freaks
John
and Geeks
Daly.
was on. Yeah, he was in Waiting. He was
Yeah.
the new hire that
That's
barely
right.
talked until the very end of the movie in Waiting.
Yeah.
And he's in a new series now. Also, I can't remember what it's called, but
The show was wonderful.
that
though.
show was good. The only thing that I didn't like about it was how creepy Jason Segel got. Like, and I heard that if they were going to go another season, like, it was going to get weird.
Yeah.
Like, he was going to become a stalker and stuff,
Mhm.
and it was going to just get really weird. Undeclared was about a freshman just joining college, doesn't know what he wants to major in yet. He lives in a room with 3 other guys, and they go on adventures, and basically the same crew as in this show, minus James Franco. But they add a couple people,
Yeah.
and Jason Segel's in it, Jay Baruchel.
Mhm. He's the main character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I think Adam Sandler was in an episode.
Seth Rogen. Adam Sandler was in an episode with,
Yeah.
I think Alan Covert was in that episode.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
blonde guy, the cross-eyed guy that's in a lot of Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about now. I can't think of
Yeah,
his
because he
name. I can't
quits.
find
He
it.
quits working for Adam Sandler, and he moves in with one of the girls at the college.
Yeah.
And then he finally they moves out at the end.
That both of those shows are just wonderful.
They are. And they're both just 1 or 2 seasons, right? Yeah. And
Undeclared was... I think I actually like Undeclared more than Freaks and Geeks.
it was different,
Yeah.
but I like it just as much. I don't know if I liked it more. I love Freaks and Geeks.
Freaks and Geeks was really good.
Next on my list, I have Pushing Daisies. Have you guys seen it?
Yes.
It's about a guy who, ever since he was a child, I don't remember how it happens, but if someone dies, he can touch them and bring them back to life.
But
And he has like 1 minute, I think it is, to touch them again, and it makes him dead again. And if he doesn't do that, then someone nearby is going to die.
doesn't he bring back like
or
his girlfriend or
something.
something?
Yes.
Something.
I think it's always someone, isn't it?
Oh,
I mean, if he can, but if it's like an animal, a different animal,
Okay, yeah.
or something
That's
like
right.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he can bring basically anything back.
Because
to
he
life.
moonlights as a detective or something, doesn't he?
Yeah. So then he owns a pie shop. He runs a pie shop during the day, and then he starts doing detective work,
He goes to
private
the morgue.
investigator stuff.
Yeah.
Goes to the morgue, touches the dead people.
And what
they
happened?
come back alive, and if they remember, he asks them how they died, what happened, and then he investigates and finds out how they were killed. And then he has a minute to touch them and kill them again. But his first or second case, he goes to the morgue, and it was this girl who was his neighbor as a little kid that he
That's
always
right,
had a
yeah.
crush on.
That's right.
And
That's
he
who it
touches
is.
her and brings her back to life. And he doesn't touch her again within the
1 minute
minute.
window
So, like,
passes.
the mortician dies or something. And then...
who was
so-
a jerk?
Yeah.
To be fair.
Right. So he's in love with this girl, but he can never
Never
touch
touch
her again, because if he does, she will die.
Oh, that's
So
terrible.
it adds this weird dynamic
Yeah.
to the
So
relationship
just the
because
tip
he
has a whole
wants
new
to.
meaning.
Exactly.
Wah, wah. Better
yeah.
really be wearing that
Blue
rubber
balls.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
Pushing
it's,
Daisies.
So it's
Blue
about
balls.
these two falling in love and not able to touch each other, and it's frustrating for both of them. And then they're also solving murders in the meantime.
They kissed through saran wrap in one episode.
Yeah.
but- yeah, they do.
Dental dam.
Sort of similar show. My next one is Dead Like Me. Have you guys seen Dead Like Me?
I've seen bits and I've seen maybe 2 or 3 episodes. I want to say.
Yeah, it's about a late teen girl who gets killed by an airplane toilet. I think a toilet lid kills her,
Yeah.
and she becomes a Grim Reaper.
That's right.
Yeah. So what she does is she has to go around and take people out of their bodies right before they get killed. That way, they don't have to go through the pain of like whatever it is that kills them.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
And it was really good.
Yeah.
And it was Inigo Montoya was in it.
Yeah.
How long did that show last?
It was 2 seasons.
was
I
it
think,
really 2?
wasn't it?
Yeah, 2 seasons.
And then they had a straight to DVD movie, which wasn't near as good as the show itself.
Didn't
But-
you tell me that the straight to DVD movie took all the rules that they established in the series and just threw them out the window?
Kind of, yeah.
Like
Metal to the metal.
you couldn't. She was as a Reaper. She's still kind of alive, but not.
Well, no, it was like, have you seen the Rest in Peace Department trailers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like where they look in the mirror and like he's an Asian guy or
Yeah.
whatever. It was like that. She looked
Okay.
completely different to everybody else,
Okay.
but to the other Reapers, like they saw her, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And so, in the movie, she kind of contacted her old family, which was way against the rules in the show, and it wasn't as good as the show. The show was amazing.
You just made me think of another one.
All
I'm gonna write
right.
it down.
Daybreak is the next show that I have on my list. It starred Taye Diggs, and it was basically Groundhog Day, the series. Have you guys? I mean, everybody's seen Groundhog Day, right?
Yeah.
Bill Murray relives the same day over and over again. Well, in Daybreak, he relives the same day over and over again.
That would get annoying as a series, I would think.
But it's kind of neat because, I mean, it only lasted, I think only 6 episodes aired, and then it didn't even finish up the storyline. So then they released the last 3 online, I think, and you could watch them there. But basically, I think that in the first episode, his wife died. And then the next day he wakes up and it's the same day. His wife's still alive. So then basically he's trying to track down who killed his wife. And then once he finds out who killed his wife, it's who were they working for and all this stuff. And he's trying to solve this giant case in one day, basically. One day over and over again.
Man, and that really didn't last? Wow.
It was good, though. But the kind of interesting part about the show was, unlike Groundhog Day, whatever injuries he sustained in that day, they would carry over to the next day. Like in one episode, he got shot. And the next day, he wakes up, he woke up and had an open wound, and
Come on.
So it would eventually heal. It would just have to go through the same day over and over.
So did he
again
his character watch Groundhog Day and kind of take notes of how he should go about it, or was
he
just
should have? Then he would have known. Except for then he would have tried to kill himself, and he actually would have. So
There was a show similar to that. I can't remember what it was called. But it was about a guy who...
It's Groundhog's Day. We covered it.
No. It's about a guy who gets in a car wreck, and, after that moment in time, it kind of splits into two realities where...
With Chris Isaac?
Yeah.
Where he's alive with one with his son and alive with one with his wife.
Yeah, and he's a detective in both.
Yeah.
Oh,
what's it called? I really wanted to watch
every
that.
time he goes to bed, he just wakes up and he's like, "Oh, now I'm with my wife."
And he doesn't know which one's real.
Right.
Yeah. I can't remember what it's called.
I want to look it up.
I don't know, but I would watch that.
What was the actor again?
Chris
Isaacs.
You got anything else on your list?
I do have a lot more on my list.
Man.
Chuck. It went 5 seasons, and I will admit that it kind of got weird in the last couple seasons, but I would watch at least 2 or 3 more seasons of Chuck.
I would watch it another season if they fixed some of the things in the last season.
Well, what we have to do is we have to ignore the last season because it was kind of a wrap-up season, I think.
It was.
And we just have to
I haven't seen it, but I know.
strike season 5. And let's say that rather than them being canceled in season 5, they would have picked it up, and season 5 would have became season 8 or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
So they would have just threw some seasons in the middle there. But Chuck's about a secret agent who downloads basically the FBI and CIA
Well, he's not
database
an agent yet.
into his...
NSA and CIA.
Okay, NSA
They,
and CIA database into his
They
brain.
do the smart thing and put all of their knowledge into a
Well,
single
the
computer.
reason why is because of 9/11. Both
Yes.
departments had to work together
Yes.
and had to share their files, so they put them in one supercomputer that could easily be downloaded to a human brain.
Right. Through glasses, of course.
Yeah.
Well, the original went through email, though. It wasn't even with the
Oh,
glasses.
right.
That was the best part.
The
is I'm going to
updates were
send you an
glasses.
email with all of the data of a single computer.
Right.
Like,
From two...
Fortunately, it's less... Maybe it was just a link.
Yeah.
He clicked the link, and then it was...
it's
That's the only way
It was
he
from
could...
two government agencies,
Yeah.
two huge agencies.
And it's a public link. No password or anything. Just click it and download into your brain.
my thing about that was
I
like,
loved that show, though.
It was. It's a lot of fun and it's hilarious. But why did it have to? Why did the room have to be a giant white room with
Giant white room.
huge with tons
1,000 by 1,000
of tons
room.
of TVs
With
and
a
everywhere.
tiny computer right in the middle of the room.
Like the original Mac.
It was a TRS-80. It was had the actual floppy drive on it.
Oh man,
That's a supercomputer, right?
Those old floppies were the bomb, man.
they were the size of an
You could
actual
tell they could
person.
hold more because they were bigger.
They were bigger.
But what the deal was, though, is that all the information was stored in pictures,
Right.
and so when he seen the picture, it would recall all the information or whatever.
So then from then on, whenever he would see a spy or something, he would flash, and then he would know everything about that person or everything the CIA and had on that person or NSA.
You know, whichever company.
Yeah. And
Which
so
is
then
everything.
So then he had these two handlers who were actually, one was a NSA agent, one was a CIA agent.
Now Sarah was CIA and Casey was NSA, right?
Was it? I was thinking it was the other way around, but I don't remember. It's not important. But, yeah. And they
The
were,
the NSA director gets killed because
okay.
he was the Candyman. I can't think of what his
Right.
name was,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
no.
No, he was the CIA guy.
Are you sure? I
Yeah.
thought that Beckman was the CIA.
She was NSA. And he was CIA. Because there's an episode that he finds Sarah. And he's like, hey, you threw a knife really good into a tree. Do you want
Right.
to be in the CIA?
Well, they were looking for his dad or her dad.
That's what... the one thing that super annoyed me about that show was whenever they always acknowledge the fact that Sarah Walker's, that's not her real name.
Mhm.
And there's an episode in which she tells someone else her real name, and Chuck hears it, but continues to call her Sarah for the rest of the series. And I'm
Right.
like, if you love this woman, wouldn't you call her by her real name and not
okay.
her agent name?
Right.
Well, that's all he knows her as, though.
But still,
Yeah,
that's not
but-
personal.
Didn't she
Yeah.
give out her middle name one time, too? Did she tell Chuck her middle name?
Maybe. Yeah, in the very beginning.
Like, first
Yeah.
season?
Like, I think first season she said her middle name.
Or no, she turned her back and whispered it or something. I forget, it was something stupid, but
We knew it at home. That was the
yeah,
important
the
part.
viewers knew.
Okay. The next one on my list is No Ordinary Family. It had Michael Chiklis.
Is that the one with the...
And his family were all, they all got like
gosh.
superpowers.
Julie
Yes.
Benz, it was terrible.
I liked it though. I mean, what was it, like 1 or 2 seasons? It didn't last very long, but it was really good. But
That's the show where the guy was bulletproof.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love Michael Chiklis though. And it's
Okay,
because
what-
of The Shield. The Shield is one of my favorite shows of all time.
Wait, it's not because of Fantastic Four?
And no,
Yeah, he
Not
was
because
the
of
thing,
Fantastic
but not
Four.
Rock in that.
right?
Like, yeah, he had super durability and strength.
Yeah, he
And
basically
his
was
wife
the
was
thing that
Speed.
wasn't Rock. Yeah,
Yeah, the wife
And-
had speed, and then the boy was
I think the
super
kids
smart.
had-
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Because
and-
he was a slacker, and then he became really super smart.
right. And
I
what
can't
was the
remember what
girl?
the girl's
I can't remember what
was.
hers
There was
either.
one episode where he read an entire surgery, like, field dressing manual and was
Yeah.
able to perform surgery in 3 seconds or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember that it had, I think it had, in Weeds, what was the Mexican gang guy? I can't remember what his name was.
Oh.
But he was like a detective in it, along with Michael Chiklis. Because he was a sketch artist. Yeah, he was a sketch artist for a police department.
right.
And
yeah.
so, like, they'd always throw a big little hissy fit whenever he was at a crime scene. Because they're like, oh, you don't need to be here. You don't have to draw
You're just a
faces.
sketch artist. Yeah, but I enjoyed it.
LOL running joke.
Right.
I can't figure out what that show was, Steven. Awake.
The
Yeah,
next one I have
that's
is
Okay.
Hold on. Jordan's just discovered that show was called Awake,
Yeah.
oh,
where that
okay.
guy was...
Yeah, but we were talking about
Right. Well, I want to see it though.
Yeah.
So we want to see Awake
I'm
sometime.
going to write that down here in a minute. The next one I have is Justice League, and it may be because I'm actually a man-child, but I loved the Justice League cartoon, Justice League Unlimited.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
You know, they kind of did, like, they originally were going to end Justice League with the first season of Justice League Unlimited. Like, after that, it was supposed to be over.
Yeah.
But, like, popularity of it was so big that they brought it back for another season.
right. And it was good. I mean,
It was good.
I think it's one of those shows that just kind of got better as it went on, too. It was,
The last episode of that, where Superman fights Darkseid,
Mhm.
one of the best things, like, one of the best lines from Superman
Yeah,
ever,
where he's
in my
like,
opinion.
talking
I
about
live
how
in
he
a
has to
world of
wear kid
cardboard.
gloves all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, but you can take it, can't you?
Like, I remember being a little kid and being like, this is awesome.
Yeah, it was good. Next on my list is Nickelodeon's Doug. and I specifically said Nickelodeon's Doug
Because that was
because fuck the Disney version of Doug.
I didn't even know there was a Disney version of that.
Yes, you
And it was
did.
good.
You didn't know.
Like
Glad you
Roger
know.
won the lottery, or Roger's mom won the lottery, or something like that. So he
Yeah,
was like
Roger
really
was
rich
like
in the show, and he wasn't like
horrible.
the same Roger as he was in the Nickelodeon version.
Patty
They
was a
changed his
different
clothes,
color,
too,
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
she?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
changed a lot
Yeah,
about
like Doug's
when-
clothes were different.
Yeah, and it was different voices even, I think, for a lot of them.
Yeah.
I watched one episode of that and was done.
It wasn't even near the same show as the original Doug.
They said Roger's mom?
I think it was Roger's mom. Someone in
The
Roger's
bully?
family won
Yeah,
the lottery.
okay.
Yeah, and he was.
I think Roger only had one parent, didn't he?
I think that's what I was thinking, honestly.
I don't know. It's been a long time. What else you got?
And the last show on my list, even though it hasn't even been canceled yet, is Community. because I know that when it's
It's going to
canceled,
be.
I'm going to want to watch more of that show because it is one of
Well-
my favorite shows ever.
Are you sure? With like
With everybody
two
leaving,
of
it's
the-
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I want more seasons, more like
with the whole cast.
exactly, yeah, more seasons.
You
of
want
the whole
more
cast.
like season 2.
Yes,
Season 2 and 3 were really fun.
yes, they were great. And that's it for my list. 35 TV shows that I want brought back.
Bring it back now.
It's not too much to ask, is it?
What people listening don't know is that Lawrence is actually writing angry letters to Fox.
Yeah, I've
and
written
Disney.
so many letters about these shows. It's ridiculous.
We joke about it, like Jericho, like that show got an extra season because people like what they do. They
Was that
sent
the one where they were
peanuts?
sending? Yeah.
Yeah,
Peanuts?
yeah, like
Yeah, it was a thing in the show. Like, it
Oh.
had something to do with the show. I don't really
Yeah.
know the story, but so they were sending peanuts into the.
yeah.
The
But apparently,
company,
like it wasn't like one or two peanuts like in like a envelope. It was like big crates
Of peanuts.
of peanuts that they sent in, and
It's amazing.
See, I'd heard that, what was that Star Trek show? Was it Enterprise? Like the prequel show that they did?
yeah.
That whenever it ended, people raised a whole bunch of money, I think, to get it brought back, and they sent in the money, and the studio was like, no.
Thanks for the money, though.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Oh, wow.
Now, I heard it was they raised $2 million, but I don't know if that's
Jeez.
true or not, but
It was
That actually
pre-Kickstarter.
makes me think of another thing. Because of Kickstarter,
Right.
Veronica Mars is
Yeah, it's
coming
getting a
back,
movie.
and they're getting
Yeah.
a movie,
yeah.
which is really, really cool. And the guy who, I guess, created Veronica Mars has said that because there was such a huge fan base to see this movie again, that he was thinking about writing novels after the
Oh.
movie.
Wow.
They continued the story of Veronica
Veronica
Mars.
Mars.
But, okay. Am I next?
Sure, if you have TV shows. I don't know who all has TV shows today.
Shows. Okay. The first one is Firefly, which is another Fox show, which
Dun dun.
I'm noticing a pattern here.
it was
I think
fantastic.
a couple of mine were Fox shows, too.
It had
Oh,
like
yeah.
Nathan Fillion and Adam Baldwin in it, and it was. The premise sounds so weird. It was pretty much the Wild West.
I would say it's a space western.
Yeah, it was a
You know?
space western. Yeah, but it was so much fun.
Do you watch Castle?
No, but I want to.
Because there's an episode where he dresses up like his character.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What are you?" And he said, "Space Cowboy."
I remember hearing that like there were several nods. Like,
yeah.
There's like a Firefly class spaceship like model somewhere
Oh,
in
really?
a room in multiple scenes and
There's
stuff like that.
his mother was going away to a resort or like a spa,
Mhm.
and it was called Serenity.
Nice.
And he's like, "What?" And she goes, "You've never heard of Serenity?" You know, I mean, there's a lot of little jokes.
I want to watch that, but isn't there like 6 seasons of that right
I
now?
don't know.
I think there's
it's
quite
a
a
pretty
few.
decent
Too
show.
many shows
People
to
love
watch.
it, though.
Yeah, I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes, and it was really funny.
I've never
But
seen it.
I love Nathan Fillion. I think he's a hilarious actor. But Firefly was so much fun, and it wasn't fair because Fox aired the first episode they aired was the second episode. Yeah, like if you go on Netflix right now and watch the full, it's only 13 episodes, and they're fantastic. But they never even aired the pilot. They just
Really?
jumped into the second one.
Wow.
That's crazy.
When they made the
Yeah.
pilot, Fox came back and said that it wasn't actiony enough because their pilot was really a lot of setup.
It was
And
a lot of
character building.
development. Yeah,
You know, stuff you need.
yeah.
Right.
And
It would have
granted-
been nice, I think, to have.
The second episode.
So can
was
you
really
not
bad.
watch it at all? Can you
What do
not
you
see the? Can you not see the pilot anywhere?
No, the pilot's
Oh, yeah,
on
yeah.
Netflix.
Oh, okay.
And
And it's like an hour and a half long.
Yeah. Because it's all about, like, it's very Star Warsy, too, in a way. Like, there's a Federation of Planets
Right.
that, you know, it's like a giant government, and then there are these rebels that they call Browncoats. And, the Nathan Fillion's character volunteers to go into this war, and it's a rebellion to the Federation, but they stop the rebellion, and now he's a smuggler that's just trying to get by.
He's on.
Time's
Yeah.
Because
up.
after you're a war criminal,
Yeah.
not many places will hire you.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
But like Firefly was great, and then because of the movie, of the show ending, like people threw a big fit to Fox, and so Joss Whedon, the creator of the show, was just like, all right, well, let's make a movie, and
Yeah.
they made Serenity, which was a fantastic movie as well.
Because they didn't have the rights to Firefly, right?
I don't know.
To call the movie Firefly.
Well, Firefly, like, okay, the ship that they fly in the show is called Serenity,
right.
but it's a Firefly type ship.
Right.
So I don't know if
I thought there was a
rights or
legal
something.
reason why the movie had a different title.
I think he probably had the rights to make the movie, but
instead of just making a Firefly movie.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Firefly, the movie.
it was really cool.
Spaceballs.
The
The
sequel,
placemat.
Yeah.
The search for more money.
Okay, so my next show to kind of go with Atlantis is Stargate Universe, which takes place after Atlantis. It's very, if anyone hasn't seen it, it's very different from Stargate SG-1 and Atlantis. It's,
Wait. If anyone hasn't seen it or hasn't heard one of our podcasts before this
yeah,
one,
yeah, that's true. But it was so good, and like I mentioned in past episodes of the podcast, like the first season is I really liked it because it's something very different. It was almost like a combination of Stargate and Battlestar, of like this really looking at characters and their relationships between each other, and they're stuck on the ship and they can't get back to Earth, but like the Colonel is still in love with his wife, but he had an affair with the medic, and the medic is now pregnant, and he can't ever see his wife again, and all that stuff. And
there was just too much drama for that show.
See, I
His
just-
wife was cheating on him too.
yeah, with his best friend, he was
Yeah.
in the army as well.
See, I just couldn't get into it. I couldn't get
It
into
was-
the universe like I did the others.
It was all drama. That's like one
Not
guy.
in the second
Oh,
season.
he's this Catholic guy who has a girlfriend back home who'd had an abortion, but then he finds out that she didn't really have the abortion, and she's
Yeah.
raised this kid all these years.
To
and,
me-
and she strips to make money, and
Yeah.
so like he sends his paycheck to her,
Yeah.
but she keeps stripping. Like, I don't care. This is a
Yeah.
sci-fi show.
To me, it was like Stargate Atlantis had a baby with Battlestar Galactica,
Yeah.
and it was Stargate Universe,
Yeah.
and it should have been aborted.
But the second season is so good.
No, it's
so-
not.
Yes, it
It's
is.
not.
You start getting introduced to like the series as villains and stuff like that, and it was really, really fun.
Like, if they would have never made Universe and I could have had 2 more seasons of Atlantis, I would have been totally happy.
Was it the second season though, where they bring in there's like a quadriplegic, and they have to switch bodies with her or
That's
whatever?
So many syllables.
Yeah,
You mean they
yeah.
hadn't solved that problem by then?
No, because
really?
it's present day.
Yeah.
But, somebody gets ALS, and there's a cure, but they can't find it. And I don't know. There's just all kinds of drama added
If
in.
only
That
they
is in the
had
second
downloaded that
season.
entire database.
Yeah,
So
where
it's pretty-
Rush is in love with her.
Yeah, yeah.
so
'cause-
much easier.
There were so
no,
many.
yeah, Rush is in
Yeah.
love with the quadriplegic. But I was talking about what's her face gets ALS. She finds out she's got it. The blonde.
Yeah, the medic.
Yeah.
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 There's so many really cool things in that, though. Like, the aliens, and they took the baby after she had it, and...
But
the
that was
guy-
all a lie.
No.
The ship made her dream that. Those
Oh.
aliens never took the baby.
Oh, okay.
The ship made her believe it to comfort her so she wouldn't flip out.
The guy who sits in
Yeah.
the chair. It's really cool. I really enjoyed it.
There was
So-
cool things. I'll admit there was
Screw
cool
you guys.
things on the show.
I love that movie.
Guys.
Come on.
I watched the entire first season.
Rush
You
was
watched the second
cool,
season.
but
Second season is much, much better.
I've heard the second
Eli's
season is much better.
okay.
Eli was my favorite part of
I
the
liked
show.
Rush, though. Rush was...
Rush was my favorite. Eli's
My
number
reason
Rush
two.
for
gets so
watching.
much more interesting in the second season.
He
because
does get more
finds the
interesting.
bridge of destiny, and
And
he
can
doesn't
fly
tell
it.
anyone, and
Oh.
he can control it completely.
But he's talking to his dead wife
Yeah.
because you gotta have that level of drama in the show. That
Right.
Well, have you seen Battlestar?
I couldn't get through it. Like I've tried to watch the first episode twice, picking
Yes.
up where I
You
left
can't
off.
do
I
it.
couldn't get through
You
it.
can't.
That's the
do
thing.
that.
Yes, I will admit that the first episode of Battlestar Galactica is probably the most difficult time I've ever had to watch a TV show.
And it's
Because
like
it was-
3 hours long,
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
so long, and it's
crazy
and
long.
it's
Wasn't
just
it like a
the pilot of
miniseries or
Firefly.
something originally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just like the pilot of Firefly. Like, there's
I couldn't
not a
get
lot
through
that
it.
went on.
See,
but
I'm
there's
like
a
5
lot of
episodes
character
into
development.
Firefly. I need to finish it,
You
too.
need to finish it. But Battlestar's so good. Like, after you get past the first episode, the first season
It's
is
just so
really
tough.
good. Second season's really good. Third season is like, why are we here? And then the last season is really good. So, third season, you could pretty much... Somebody online made an episode list of, like, if you want to watch Battlestar,
These
you
are
don't
the
have
ones
to...
you
Yeah,
need.
these are the episodes you want to watch because... It's just like any other show. There are episodes in there that are completely...
fillers.
They're fillers
Yeah.
that you
Right.
cannot even watch. Like, I remember one was like, a dude was captured by the Cylons. It was a prisoner for like years, and he just randomly escaped and went to Battlestar, and he was friends with Adama, like the general. But then, like, that was a big deal, because it's like, oh, you get to see Adama's, like, tortured past, and then, like, you never see that guy again. He's, like, not in the series anymore, never even mentioned. It's like, why was that episode even a part of the show?
Should throw in some drama for
Good
the space
friends.
show, I guess.
But Battlestar is really, really good. Okay. I really like comics and superheroes, so my next two are about that. The first one is Spectacular Spider-Man, which was on... I can't remember what was it on? I want to say...
It was on MTV, wasn't it?
No, that's...
No, that was...
Actually, that's another Spider-Man. That was the...
Was it Amazing Spider-Man, or was it...
No, that was just Spider-Man on MTV that was voiced by Neil Patrick Harris, which that was really good, too, and that shouldn't have been canceled.
And it looked weird, though. Like,
It did... The animation was weird, but the story was awesome.
The Spectacular Spider-Man is awesome. Was it not
Yeah.
a Cartoon Network show? I don't remember.
I want to say it was like ABC Family or
Maybe it was.
something like that, but
I don't know.
it was wonderful.
Yeah, it was really good.
Like, it was very much... I love that show because it was very much grounded in the comics, but it was still something that felt like it was very fresh and fun.
Yeah, it
and-
was totally different.
Yeah.
Than
It
the
was
other
really fun. I
Spider-Man
think it only had like 2
incarnations.
seasons, and the only reason they canceled it was because they were going to make Ultimate Spider-Man, which is on right now,
Right.
and that show is super campy.
Well, see, I heard that there was an Avengers show on not too long
Yeah.
ago that was really good,
Yeah.
and they canceled it so Disney could do an adventure show, and I hear it's terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That's the one.
Yeah.
That was like for 2 seasons, and I highly recommend if you are even remotely...
That's an animated one?
Yeah. If you're even remotely... If you enjoyed the Avengers movie, you should watch the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, because like the first half of the first season is like individual episodes for like Iron Man and Captain America and the Hulk, and it introduces them just for
Right.
if you've never seen them before, and then they get together and it's fighting every big villain. Like they fight Kang and Red Skull and like
There's a secret invasion, right, with the
yeah,
skulls?
like that's the whole storyline for like the first half of the second season, I want to say. And like there's the Kree are involved in it as well, and it's really, really fun to watch.
See, like, I feel about Spider-Man cartoons how I feel about the Batman cartoons, is I've never watched one that I didn't really enjoy. Like, I love
Yeah.
the 90s Spider-Man cartoons.
Wait. Did you see Spider-Man Unlimited?
Was it the one where he had, like, the web in his
It's where he had the red
armpit?
cape.
And, yeah, I didn't
No,
really
that one
watch
wasn't
it.
Spider-Man Unlimited, was it?
Yeah. It
Was
was...
it the one where he went to an
Oh,
alternate
I'm thinking
timeline
alternate.
where...
No, he went to a planet that was on the other side of the sun that was like Earth, but different. Like, they sent Flash Thompson, I want to say.
Was it?
No, he went through, like, a black hole.
It was
or
a
something.
parallel
It was a
Earth.
parallel Earth, I think.
But it was on the
And
other
it was
side
like,
of
it
the
had,
sun.
like, lizard people or
And
something.
he creates-
dog people, and...
He creates some kind of a symbiote, though.
No, he creates a suit that's nothing but, like, little nanites.
Yeah, that's right.
That allows him to be, like, go
Yeah,
invisible and...
I think I've seen,
stuff
like, one
that.
episode of that.
And he chases Carnage and Venom, because they get onto that ship and go to the other one. Which, that pissed me off, because in the Spider-Man cartoon, the only reason he beats Venom is because he's fighting him next to that spaceship, and the vibrations coming off of it
And the heat.
and the heat messes up the symbiote. But then in this one, they can just easily jump onto the ship while it's flying off, like...
That's funny.
And then, yeah, there were no human hosts in them, they were just the symbiotes,
Mm-hmm.
which, that...
Just goo.
See, I thought
Going around fighting.
I thought he was mistaken for a symbiote because of the design of the suit.
Mm-mm. No, they just
The
didn't know
people
who
on that
Spider-Man
planet.
was.
Oh.
They thought he was what do they call him? No, that was Batman Beyond splicers. There was something else where they incorporated animal DNA into humans.
Yeah.
And they had like Dr. Ram. He was a ram that was a scientist and they tried to cut open Spider-Man's suit, but like it was too strong that even a blade couldn't even go through it, which I thought was really overpowered.
Yeah.
But it was only on for like 13 episodes, I want to say. I didn't like that. That was so bad. So
Yeah.
bad.
I didn't watch it.
But Spectacular Spider-Man is really, really good. My next one, and I don't think it was canceled too soon. I think they just kind of were done with it. But I would love to see more of it, and that was Batman Beyond, which is Batman, but in the not too far future, maybe
Is-
like 50 years in the future.
And what it
How old
was
is Bruce?
He was like
he's
60 or
old.
70.
I think he was like 70s.
Bruce takes on the Alfred role
Yeah,
in
he
the
does.
Kind
show.
of.
Yeah.
And I think the premise of the show is that this kid was a clone of Bruce, right?
No.
Well, you find out.
No,
in Justice
they took Bruce's parents' DNA and they put it in the kid's dad.
No.
So that he
Hold
would
on.
have.
No, it's not.
That's
DNA.
that's not how it worked out. It
And
was
then they
in-
killed the parent, or they killed
No.
the dad.
No.
I'm pretty sure. that
How it
that's
works,
right.
it doesn't get resolved until Justice League Unlimited.
I can't wait for all the emails.
There's one Justice League Unlimited where they explain it. What happened is if you ever saw the movie The Joker Returns,
Return of the-
Yeah.
Return of the Joker, whatever it is, Batman
Yeah.
Beyond. The Joker, the way he returned is he rewrote somebody else's DNA. You don't find out till the end of the movie, but there's somebody that he's rewritten their DNA so that he is the Joker.
Mhm.
Okay, so what you find out is that Amanda Waller and the secret group took that technology and rewrote Terry McGinnis's dad's reproductive organs to be Bruce Wayne's reproductive organs, so that he would be
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne's child. Like, both the kids' parents are redheads, and Terry McGinnis has dark black hair because he's Bruce Wayne's child.
Yeah.
But you don't find that out until, and even that, it's way farther in the future than what Batman Beyond was.
Yeah.
Because like
See, I
Bruce
thought it
was
was
really
I thought it
old.
was
Yeah.
Thomas Wayne's, and I thought that they made
No.
so they.
No, they wanted him to be Bruce Wayne's
But
child.
then his dad got killed,
Well, they
right?
said-
Got
Right,
murdered.
they went to
And-
kill both of his parents,
and then couldn't do it.
And couldn't do it. But then, when Batman Beyond begins, his dad is killed or whatever, or
Right,
has
yeah.
been killed.
Like,
the
oh, how
original
fortunate.
plan- Yeah.
But just the dad. Like, they were going to kill both parents.
Right.
Yeah.
But they said, no, we got to stay by if we want to make a better Batman, we got to stick with Batman's rules, so we won't kill either. And they decided not to kill the kid's parents. But then,
His
by
dad
chance, his
killed
dad
him,
dies.
Yeah.
And that's what puts him on the path of meeting the elder Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
It was just such a fun show. Like, you got a young Batman who is, for the most part, very different from original Batman. And
He
he's,
laughs and makes jokes.
yeah, like, and he's more like Spider-Man than
Mm-hmm.
he is Batman in a way.
His armor, he gets super strength from his suit, right?
Yeah,
he can
like,
fly.
and
He's got
and
rockets in his
stealth
boots.
And, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
You've never seen Batman
No,
Beyond?
I think the one Batman show that I've never
You should
seen.
watch it.
Yeah, it's pretty
Well,
good.
I'm going.
It's a
I
lot
think
of
it's on
fun.
Netflix now, so I was actually looking for it at work
so.
yesterday.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think I'm going to watch it.
It's
I
really
think-
cool.
He didn't
I'm
mean
just-
at work. He meant at home.
I'm
Yeah,
just-
should you be saying this?
I have an app. It was at lunchtime actually. Can I stream it? Is what it's called,
Mhm.
and I can just look up a show and see whether
Can I
it's available
stream
to
dot
stream.
it?
Yeah,
It's a website.
can I stream
Okay.
about it? And it's
Promo. Give us money.
Yeah.
Website.
but I'm in the middle of Batman the Animated Series right now.
Yeah.
Actually, I just started X-Men, the
Actually,
90s series, so I'm going
whenever
to finish
you-
that, then Batman, and then...
I want to talk to you when you get through Batman the Animated Series because my friend Dan is up in arms about that show because he hated the animation change in that show. Like after the first 3 or 4 seasons,
Whatever.
There-
moves
it was
to
only
Cartoon
4
Network.
seasons, and season 4 is totally different. Like,
Yeah.
it's Nightwing instead of Robin all of a sudden,
Yeah,
right?
and then
Yeah.
Tim Drake is
Yeah.
Robin.
Yeah,
but
I
the
mean,
animation style is different, and that's when you get Joker with just black eyes.
Yeah. completely different
Yeah.
show, I think. I mean,
But I mean,
It still follows the same canon. It's the same show. It's just the animation style changes.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
But Batman Beyond's cool. Like, instead of the Joker, except for that movie, you have the Joker gang.
Yeah, the Jokers.
The Jokers, yeah. And then, like, I think you actually do get the original Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, I don't remember. I didn't watch all
Yeah.
of them. There's a few.
They're so much fun.
You get
So much fun.
Dee Dee, which is Harley Quinn's granddaughters, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And you actually get to see Harley Quinn as the grandmother.
Yeah.
And she's just like angry old woman, like, you stupid kids! Always causing trouble. But it's a lot of fun. Okay, my next show is a show that was on, I think it was on Stars, I believe. But it's called Party Down. And it's about, it's got like Adam Scott and Ryan Hansen, Martin Starr, Lizzie Kaplan.
it
it's-
sounds like a show that I would watch.
It's hilarious.
Except for from now on, I have officially renamed Adam Scott to Manna Kendrick because they're
Kendrick.
twins. So from now on,
They
whenever
are
we
fun.
refer to Adam Scott, we have to call him Manna Kendrick.
Yeah. The whole plot of the show is that all these people are part of a catering service called Party Down, but all of them they came to LA to try and get into showbiz. Like Lizzie Kaplan's character is trying to become a comedian. Adam Scott's character was he was trying to be an actor, and he quit, and now he just came back to have this job because he needs money. And he was in this, like, Budweiser commercial, and he's super popular because of that. And, like, one of them is trying to be a sci-fi, like, Martin Starr is trying to be a sci-fi writer, not fantasy. He hates fantasy. Like,
How many episodes did it run?
20. There's 2 seasons of it. And it's directed by, what's his name? Fred Savage.
Oh, yeah?
Like, from Wonder Years. And, like, if you've seen any, like, episodes of, like, The Office and stuff that he's, directed, they're hilarious. It's like dry humor and awkward humor at the same time. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend anyone to watch it because
Is it available to stream anywhere?
it was on Netflix a while back. I don't know if it still is. I guess you can go to that website and check it out.
I'll totally look it up.
I would even recommend people just outright buying that show because it's just hilarious, I think. Okay, and my last series that I truly feel this series was canceled way too soon, and that is Reaper, that was on the CW way back when.
The problem is the star. What's the lead actor's name?
Brit
He's in
Harrison.
shows that he just gets canceled.
Yeah,
He was in The Loop on Fox. On Fox.
yeah.
That lasted 2 seasons, and that was a decent show.
What
Where he
was
works at an airline.
Breaking In. He was in that
He was
first
in that.
season. Is he still in there?
Two
2
seasons.
seasons. It
They
already
canceled it.
got canceled.
Yeah, but like, was he even in the second? Like, the
Yeah,
second
he
season
was.
was totally different,
It
wasn't
was.
Yeah,
it?
he was in there.
Yeah,
He
like
was
I
in
watched season 1 of that and really liked it. And then I tried to watch the first episode of season 2 and I'm like, yep,
So
not the same
different.
show. Totally
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
The Loop was cool because I think he was roommates with his brother and 2 hot girls, and then when season 2 came around, they got rid of the hot girls with no explanation.
It just was.
They're just not there on the show anymore. And in season 1, there was this douchebag character that might have been in an episode or 2, and then he's in every episode of season 2. So they traded 2 hot chicks for a douchebag.
No,
I
thank
searched for it and got results that were not for Party Down.
Oh.
you.
Well, it's available to purchase on Amazon and Vudu and iTunes, but it's not available to stream for free anywhere.
I remember watching it on Netflix. Like, I'd heard about it way back when, and then, yeah. But Reaper is fan-freaking-tastic. It's about a kid who, his parents sell his soul to the devil, and on his 18th birthday, the devil comes to collect, and he says, alright, I'm not going to take you to hell, I'm going to make you a Reaper, and you have to stop souls that escaped from hell and send them back.
Okay, but how does his parents have the right to sell his soul?
Well, they sold their firstborn son,
They sold
or
their
their
firstborn,
firstborn.
yeah.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
to get, I can't even remember what they were trying to get.
Speedboat.
I don't remember.
Maybe. I honestly can't remember.
35 bucks.
Yeah. And it, like, the show starts off on
Oh,
his 18th birthday.
I wish I had tickets to the World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want an iPad.
It's so much fun. Like,
That was before iPad.
you find out, like, they sold
Oh,
his
we're
soul, but
20
he
bucks
might
short
actually
of
be the
being
son
able
of
to
the
pay the
devil.
rent this month.
Yeah. But, like, Tyler Labine is in it. He plays Sock.
I love Sonic.
And everything he's been, like, I got introduced to this guy because of the show, and everything I've seen him in
Sing him in.
after is fantastic. Like, last
He's
night
basically
we
the
watched,
same character and everything, though.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But that-
Like, he was
except
in
for-
Mad Love. Did you watch that show?
Yes, I
with
love that
Jason
show.
Biggs. I loved it, too. And Sarah Chalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't that character in Rise of the Planet of the Apes,
Right.
and he was still good in that.
Good point.
We just watched a good old-fashioned orgy last night.
Oh man, it's so funny.
That movie makes me laugh so
Oh,
hard.
it's a movie.
It's a movie.
Okay.
Not porno.
We didn't watch one.
I just thought you
Unless
meant
you
you
can talk
watched
to
so we
your
wouldn't watch
friends and
the
hearing
orgy.
it,
Yeah.
which, for lack of trying, you know.
I thought you meant it was live, not that you watched it, like, you watched it into you watched it at somebody's house, a good old fashioned
Or
orgy.
Friday night, I like to have my friends over and just like, you guys want to go watch an orgy in person? It'd be
In
awesome.
person.
I got an end with this
Yeah,
guy.
take off your pants.
But like, Reaper was fun because like he didn't have a sickle; he had a vacuum, like a
Dustbuster?
dustbuster that he had to suck the souls into it, and it was really fun. And he had a really, really hot love interest. I can't even pronounce her name. Missy Peregrine.
Yeah. She was on Heroes.
Yeah, she was very. very
I think she
attractive.
left Heroes to do that show.
Which I
actually.
don't blame her. Because Heroes was good for like the first 2 seasons, then after that it was like,
I liked season 4. I thought it got way better toward the end.
really?
Not me.
It was totally different, but it was still really good, I thought.
There's so many things that I...
That's another one that I thought about putting on my list, but decided not to because it got so bad. Like, if they could make more seasons like Season 2 or Season 1, which was awesome, then I would watch more Heroes.
They just did so much
many
stupid
things.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it got weird. And they're like, oh crap, we made Peter and Hero too powerful. Well, we better mess them up completely.
Yeah.
Rather than just scale it back a little bit. It's like, let's just make them worthless.
Yeah.
And then, like, they had that whole episode where there was another eclipse. You know, because the first episode they have an eclipse, and then everybody just kind of... After that, they start noticing their powers.
Right.
But there's never, like...
Any reason as to why that...
Right, it just kind of bonds the world together, because everybody saw the eclipse, and there's characters all over the world in the first season. Well, then, in Season 3, there's an eclipse, and everyone loses their powers with no explanation. It's just...
See,
their powers are tied to the moon, even though they're supposed to be evolution. They're evolutionarily bonded to the moon.
One thing that I didn't like about Heroes, that I don't even like about the show like True Blood right now, is they took characters that had no powers, who were interesting characters,
with no
powers, and they're like, let's just give them powers.
Yeah,
like,
that was stupid.
Hero's buddy, who gets the power of just like amping up anyone else's power.
Right.
Like, why? Why do we need that?
I thought he could shoot out an energy blast that had some damage.
He could.
But
Eventually. It took him a while. But,
yeah.
And
the Dr. Suresh.
Suresh, yeah.
He got super strength and agility.
Before that, became a bug.
Yeah, it was weird. He got weird.
Because he
killing
screwed up his
people
genetics.
Yeah.
And they took... I still can't decide if I liked what they did with Sylar or not, making him like...
A good guy?
Yeah, like a serial killer.
I really liked him, though. I liked him as a good guy. Like with him and the whole him and Parkman thing, or him and Peter in the city, and I mean,
when they're stuck in that
Parkman's head, he was still a bad guy, and I really liked that part. And then when him and Peter were stuck in the empty city or whatever, and behind that brick, they had to break down the brick wall or whatever. I really like that.
I don't think I saw all of Season 4.
I think it's coming back as a comic book, or they're wanting to make it for some online source too.
Like an online webcomic or something.
Well, like live action, I thought, but that might have failed.
I don't know. Like,
for Xbox, I think they wanted to make something that could be streamed on Xbox Live.
I'd watch it.
Actually, I'll throw another show on there. That's not really a TV show. It was a web series called The Guild. If you've ever seen that,
is it over?
I think it's over. I think Felicia Day said she's done with it, but Felicia Day created this show that was pretty much just like a spoof of people who play WoW. Yeah. Like, it was just these socially awkward people that play an MMO that are all in a guild that just happen to be in the same town.
No, she was on, like, Smodcast or something recently. Have you heard that episode? Where she talks about, creating the guild and all that stuff. Yeah. And apparently, it was kind of her life for a while there. Yeah. Like, she was on WoW 10 to 12 hours a day. And I really like the guild, and I think it's really funny and well written.
It's hilarious. And that's actually one of the few shows that I completely agree with the character development, for the most part, from Season 1 to, I think, 6 is what they had. But, there's only one character that I really didn't like his development, and that was Zabu, where, near the end, he was kind of, he was just the comedic relief that didn't really have any reason to be there other than to make you laugh.
Yeah. I think mid-Season 3 right now.
But if you've ever played a massively multiplayer online game or any video game where you've met friends through it, I've made a lot of friends from playing WoW and different MMOs and stuff, and the Guild is a wonderful example of it, of just the little odds and ends and inside jokes from those games and just the awkward relationships and I also want to get a t-shirt that says +5 to Sexterity. It's funny.
That's a Munchkin card, right?
Yeah.
Okay, is that your whole list, or you got anything else?
That is my whole list.
Anybody else got
everyone
anything?
should watch everything on my list.
Nothing from Steven or Alan?
You don't have anything?
I just want to go for the ride. Nope.
Well, I was looking around online at cartoons from the 90s, and I didn't realize that how much of the stuff that I watched actually got canceled. Mm-hmm. I guess it's because I was a kid at the time. I didn't really care. But I knew that Invader Zim got canceled.
Mm-hmm. That was a great show.
I think Nickelodeon had some problems with how that was going.
I think they thought it was too dark.
Yeah, that's one of the theories. Which I can understand.
Yeah.
Pinky and the Brain,
I
which
love
was a
Pinky
spin-off
and the Brain,
from- Right.
Animaniacs.
spin-off from Animaniacs. Both of those were canceled.
It got picked up by Nickelodeon, didn't it? Got moved to Nickelodeon,
Yeah.
and they put the Nickelodeon logo in the whole opening credits.
Yeah.
Really?
Like instead of carrying a
Oh,
gold
right.
brick, they're
It was
carrying the
the
Nickelodeon
Nickelode-
sign.
See, I didn't know if that was just a commercial for it or if that's like actually how the show opened when it was
That was
on
actually
there.
how the show opened
That's
when
ridiculous.
they purchased it. It was stupid.
I loved Pinky and the Brain. I loved whenever he'd make the giant robot where it looked like a human, like a really buff
Mhm.
dude, and then it was his head.
Yeah.
At the very top.
Oh yeah.
I like the. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Pinky? And it was always just something ridiculous. I think so,
Freakazoid.
Brain, but where are we going to get that
Freakazoid
much
was
junk?
canceled.
Freakazoid. I can't
Oh.
believe we forgot about Freakazoid. It lasted 2 seasons, and that show was
I owned
fantastic.
both seasons on
It was
DVD.
freaking
It was
funny.
so
It
funny.
was really funny.
It's still funny. Like I can watch it now and just laugh.
A lot of deadpan humor.
Don't
in
say
there.
Candle Jack.
Rocco's Modern Life.
Oh
I just saw a little video online that showed like the top 20 dirtiest jokes.
I was
in
going to
Rocko's
say, if you
Modern Life.
haven't seen Rocco's Modern
It's
Life since you
terrible.
were a kid, you
Oh,
need
yeah.
to watch it again
Yeah,
because it is
it's got
dirty.
multiple
yeah, it
levels.
is.
Yeah.
That was a show that my friend Dan, his mom, wouldn't allow him to watch that.
Really?
Yeah, because it was all dirty jokes.
But he didn't get, I mean, see, that's the thing
No,
about
as a kid,
kids
you
is they
don't
don't
get
get those jokes.
Ren
You
and
could
Stimpy
go back
was
and
the
watch-
same way.
Yeah, it was dirty.
Yeah.
There's an actual unrated, unaired episode of Ren and Stimpy where all it is Ren being in a women's shower, like, locker room and just watching women shower naked. And it shows, like, topless women, and he's just, like, oogling at them, and Stimpy is doing something that messes it up. I don't know. But it's, like, full-on nudity, and I'm like, this was a Saturday morning cartoon when I was little.
Speaking of Saturday morning cartoons, Sonic.
Wait,
Now-
which Sonic?
Yes.
When they're 15 Sonic shows.
I hated the Sonic Underground show.
I
Wasn't
did
it?
too.
Not Sonic Underground.
That
The
one was
Sonic
really bad.
Saturday AM cartoon.
There's like a Sonic.
Sonic X.
There was Sat AM, and
I
then
like
there was
Sonic
that.
X.
See, I like the old, like the one where it was only him and Tails, you know, and they
Yeah.
were like going around fighting
Yeah.
Robotnik or whatever. I didn't care for the one where they had all these people who were never in the games, you know, just showed up all of a sudden, and I just didn't get that one. I didn't know.
Okay. There is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Which is the one that I think that I would really like.
There's Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, which I think was after that. Okay, Adventures was 93 to 96, and the original one was 93 to 94. And that was only 2 seasons, I think. And oh my gosh, my mind has just been blown. Urkel was the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog. I did not know that. Oh my gosh.
I guess he did do that.
Yeah, Underground was really terrible. I kind of liked Sonic X. That was, like, just recently on, like, Fox Morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a few years.
I
Yeah.
didn't watch it either. Yeah,
They had
like,
Shadow
It's been
in
10
it.
years.
yeah.
And Knuckles.
Yeah. And Eggman. It wasn't Robotnik, it was Eggman.
When I was in grade school, maybe early high school, Sonic was on every morning at 7 o'clock on some channel, PLR or something out of St. Louis.
Mhm.
And I would watch it every single morning before school, and it was just him and Tails, you know?
Mhm.
And it was awesome. I loved it.
I'm trying to think of, like, more Saturday morning cartoons that were
Tiny
wonderful.
Toons.
Yeah,
I love Tiny
love
Toons.
I was so sad. I tried
Animaniacs
to
was
get
good,
Grant
too.
to watch Tiny Toons the other day at my parents' house.
And he's just like not interested.
not into
Did
it.
you guys ever watch Muppet Babies?
What is this?
I used
This
to
isn't
love
zany at all.
Muppet Babies.
Muppet
as a
Babies
kid.
was awesome.
Have you heard Donald Glover's thing about Muppet Babies?
I guess not.
He's like, he talks about cartoon shows that we enjoyed as kids and how messed up they were, and how as a kid you love things that are messed up because you don't understand it, but as an adult you're like, that's weird. And he's like, think about it, Muppet Babies, which is a grandmother with no face that takes care of a frog, a pig, an alien who likes to bang chickens, and a dog that plays the piano and like takes care of all those babies. And they're like, and he's like, how is that not a weird show? And you loved it as a kid.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. I like to imagine that when they were actually Muppets, she was just taking care of puppets. Like they just
She
like,
had a psychotic break.
yeah,
And it's just like
She's
Muppets
talking
that
to
she's
them.
taking
all
care of
the
babies.
adventures were in her head.
You got anything else on your list there?
Well, apparently Hey Arnold was canceled, and I loved Hey Arnold.
I loved Hey Arnold too. I think I would have enjoyed seeing more younger seasons of Boy Meets World, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I liked Boy Meets
I
World
did
the
too.
first few seasons.
Yeah.
I like the whole series.
Well, that's the problem is he's got to
I like-
grow up.
Yeah,
But now he's got his Girl Meets World.
but I like the later seasons too with
But
Will
that's whenever they
Friedle.
made-
Will Friedle became
Yeah,
my
I was
favorite.
gonna say-
The longer that show went on,
Yeah.
the more I. But the stupider he got.
Yeah.
Like in the first few seasons, he was a normal guy,
Yeah.
and toward the last two seasons, it was just like Fina,
Pretty close to retarded.
Fina.
Yeah, like, pretty much if you just go by the general rule of thumb of every season of Boy Meets World, Eric's intelligence drops by like
Yeah.
10 to
10 or
15
20
points.
points.
Couple points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and that's really accurate. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's a really competent, nice guy in season 1.
Yeah.
In the last one, he's just like, how is he even in college?
Right.
Like, he can't speak.
By then he can't read and write. He's just
Yeah.
He's regressing. He's
Yeah.
actually got something serious wrong.
it's a real big problem, and they can't figure it out.
But nobody notices because they're worried about Corey's problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
God, will they? Won't they? Come on.
And Sean ran off again.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he had a dad for a while, and then he lived with that teacher for a season, and nobody thought that was
And he
weird.
was just gone for a while.
He
Like,
was-
I remember there being an episode where they
and he
run
had a
into...
sister in the beginning, and then she
Never heard of her
disappeared.
again.
Or I guess it was Corey had a
There-
sister in the beginning.
And then he went and he stayed in a cabin and got cabin fever.
Oh, and then that girl was shaving her legs, and I almost puked.
I think my favorite part about that movie was he wants to have sex with the really slutty girl, and he doesn't have a condom. So his ingenious plan is after he has sex with her, he's peeing in the bathroom while drinking some kind of hard liquor and pours it on his penis. Like, this will get rid of any STDs.
Surely that'll fix it.
I love that. Like,
Wait, that doesn't work?
no. But I love that they're just like, this is the best we got.
Yep.
Did they ever make a sequel to that?
I
thought they
don't
were going
even
to.
know what you're talking
Cabin
about.
Fever.
Cabin fever.
Oh, yeah, they did make a second one. I don't remember
Did they
that
really
part
make
of
a
that
second
show.
You don't?
Oh yeah, that's
It's-
what he totally does. I
Yeah.
thought he used mouthwash.
See, I think I
though,
quit.
but-
I think that I just... I
Mouthwash is
quit
even
watching
worse.
after the leg shaving scene.
At least we meant you fresh now.
It was like Listerine. It was the yellow. It was alcohol color, whatever it was.
It was, yeah.
It wasn't like it was bright
alcohol.
green, so it could have been either one. But yeah, he just
But-
pours it on his junk. Like, let's just take care of it.
Gosh. And who thought the kid
Herpes be
who's-
gone. Yeah, herpes be gone.
It's like the episode of Family Guy where they go into the different universes. And there's one where there's no Dark Ages, so science is like super far ahead. And Quagmire takes his nighttime cough, flu, and AIDS pill, and he just cures himself of AIDS.
He's like, I'm pouring one for my herpes.
It's terrible. Gosh. But I actually like that movie just because of the guy who's like, screw you guys, I'm just running away. Like, I'm gonna go and hide out in a cave. Like, he's the only one that lives.
It was not a good movie.
I know, I liked it, actually.
No.
I enjoyed it.
I don't think I got all the way through it. Like, I really don't.
It was
think I
really
did.
interesting because, like, the whatever they caught doesn't kill you. It just sends you into the, like, you start losing your skin and you go into a big panic. But it never actually kills you because every single person in that movie dies not because of the disease, but for other reasons. Like, I
Really?
think the girl that they eventually, like, put in, like, the little barn because she's the first one that shows symptoms, like, they eventually just shoot her because I think she loses all of her skin and she's in so much pain because she has no epidermis.
Right.
Like, they're just like, alright, gun to your head, and they just kill her.
That seems like a good solution for any problem.
Yeah.
Gun to the head. All right. Well, if that's that wraps things up, we'll.
Gun to the head.
And
the end of the
strong.
episode.
Yeah. That end with a bang.
Wah, wah.
Anyway, be sure to check us out on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Like and subscribe here
We
on
have a
YouTube.
Twitter?
We have a Twitter.
Twit.
What's that?
Have we ever tweeted?
No, there's only 3 of us on there.
We only have 3
at Epic
followers.
Group
Yeah, we don't have any followers.
Epic Groupcast1 at Gmail.
Any shows that you guys like that you thought were canceled too early that we didn't talk about today, or even if we did talk about it and you want to add a little bit to it, feel free to share in the comments what you think. We talked about this a little bit before we started recording today, but like we would love to do like a fan reaction episode where you guys ask us questions about what you'd like us to talk about, or what we think about certain movies or games or TV shows or comics or anything like that. I'd love to do an episode of that, of just
fan response. We're
Yeah.
gonna do fan response. We've got some comments both
Yeah.
on Facebook and in person, so I think we've got enough for a show there. I have to watch a movie first before I feel like
You do.
before I feel like we can do that episode
Wasn't
justice.
there another movie that we wanted you to watch as well?
No, well, Lawrence and I have to watch Snakes on a Plane, but
Oh no, that's the best thing ever.
because we got one comment. But yeah, I gotta watch that X-Men movie.
You'll learn in that movie, snakes love nipples.
That's crazy.
Snakes love nipples.
You just ruined the movie for me.
Oh no, you can't ruin that movie.
Oh.
Because the title ruins the movie.
Yeah.
It's snakes on a plane. There is a very loose plot in that movie.
The only thing I know is that Sam Jackson is tired of these motherfucking snakes on that motherfucking plane.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, and with that,
People
we're
love
gonna.
it when he curses.
He's just added into movies to curse. I like to imagine that Joss Whedon wanted Sam Jackson to curse so much in the Avengers, but Disney wouldn't allow
Right.
I
it.
just said no.
Yeah, just a curse.
You know what this movie needs? A few more F-bombs. Let's get Sam Jackson in here.
I think I would have liked it too if on his iPad it just said Banff. I would have liked that.
Mm. All right.
Hand me my eye patch. Which one is it? It's the one that says bad motherfucker on it.
You're not talking about... Yeah, I'm talking about Nick Fury. I'm just talking about Nick Fury.
Oh, all
Shut your
right.
mouth.
This is the show that will not end. Please, please, please enjoy.
Can I say Lamb Chops was canceled too soon?
No,
Nope.
I don't think so.
Really?
Anyway, I guess we're out. We already told you what to do as far as what to like, subscribe to. So
Yeah.
peace out.
And comment.
Bye-bye!